Hey guys, welcome to CFC Unfiltered. I'm your host Anirudh, and this is a channel for Chelsea fans by a Chelsea fan. And well, it's a frustrating game, right? Uh, so before further ado, let's just discuss. So, since most of you do not know, CFC Unfiltered is a channel in which I will give you my unfiltered and unbiased opinions on all things Chelsea, be it pre-match or post-match thoughts, which will be this case, or transfers or stories emerging in and around the club, about the club, and basically asking for you or yours as well. So yeah, please, if you do like the content, please do like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification icon. It's a brand new channel, only a few days old, so every bit of likes or anything that you have or subscription helps. So please do join me in this journey, and I'm sure if you give it a shot you will love the content. So yeah, before further ado, let's just get started. So it was a frustrating game. um, I saw a few meltdowns from my fellow Chelsea fans, uh, and I can understand to an extent some frustration, and I am frustrated. I wanted a win. Right, it's been a while since Chelsea won an opening game. It's been a while, right? Um, so I definitely was. I wouldn't say I'm not absolutely gutted that we are not win, but it's not that elation that you like to feel on the opening day. With a win and 3 points. And I said in the pre-match thoughts that ultimately I didn't care that much about how we won, just that we would win and get 3 points. We ultimately had to settle for 1 point and ended in nil-nil, and Chelsea just got Glasner. Crystal Palace, you have to give them their due. They're a frustrating team, and they have a top manager, right? And they have some really good players like Eze, who may or may not be playing his last match in Crystal Palace shirt. Had to be against us, of course, and of course Gehi. Maybe he's staying at Crystal Palace, and of course now they have Wharton, so they have some pretty good players. Mayonnaise, of course. Um, so they have pretty good players. They have a good goalkeeper. They have good manager. They have good defenders. They have a good midfield. Between Mateta and Eze and Sara, I think, right? So I think they have a pretty good attacking unit as well. They have a pretty decent, pretty good first 11 and maybe one or two other players. Not much beyond that, but they do have a fantastic 11, and they do have a good manager under them. And you have to remember that Crystal Palace full strength. They beat Man City. We saw what we did to Aston Villa last season. We saw what they did to Man City on the final, uh, and we saw what they did to Liverpool, last week. So they haven't lost any of their form, any of their what they had in the last part of the season, especially, and they showed that today as well. And what I would say, that this is a good team. So even though your Crystal Palace, we should beat them, and we should probably have beaten them. But it's not something. It's not the end of the world. It's not something to be overly sad about. It's frustrating. It is what it is. We get over it. In a way, it is also a positive because it's a low block. It shows why we need Xavi. It shows that Kittens is still a bit raw, right? We saw some of the failings that we have and where we need to improve. And this is a very difficult opposition, so I would say we can take it at chin and kind of treat it as a preseason game. I know it's not. I know we won 3 points, but treat it as a preseason games because it helps you bring your intensity up because you have to remember these players only had 2-3 weeks break after the Club World Cup and then they came again. We had two quick preseason games just to start fitness. uh, they basically started training 10 days ago. Everyone else has been doing for 4 weeks, so we have to keep that in mind. Not on making any excuses, but we have to keep in mind that that is the case. Uh, you know, of course, the hot weather didn't help today. I think that was the case last season as well. At Crystal Palace, we drew 1-1, I think, and I think it's similar circumstances somewhat. Yeah, we finished fourth, so it's not the end of the world. So, so what I would say were the good things, despite the fact that Tosin was out injured, despite the fact that we have sort of and crisis in the back. Uh, Josh Acheampong was good. He was good. He made sure Mateta was, snuffed out any danger from him, and not many centre backs can do that and say that. And Josh Acheampong, I think he has only started, Premier League games, maybe quite limited, less, probably maybe 2 or 3, and few Conference League games, and he looked well. He was able to have high level of interceptions, and he was able to stop and sniff out Mateta and anyone else that was coming out. He was able to handle them, and he also attempted those Colwell passes, because low block is a problem, and this is what Enzo Maresca was trying to say. It's not necessarily the centre back, it is what Colwell did with the ball, because what he was doing consistently is making those midfield cutting passes, right? And that is what essentially Enzo Maresca was basically saying, that that is what we are lacking. And I saw Joshua Chimpong, basically try and do that. It didn't come off, but he tried. And you have to remember, he's very young. He's inexperienced at this level, but he showed great maturity. And you can think back to Hodgson, who we were linked to. We maybe would have brought in had he not gone to Real Madrid. When he went to Bournemouth, he was doing the same thing, and he was given the confidence to start, and he did well, right? That is why he's gone to Real Madrid. So similarly, Josh Acheampong, he has started out at Chelsea. He's a Chelsea boy, and he has started well, I would say. And of course, Estevao, when he came on, was good. I think I feel he can be like Aaron Hazard for us. And I think he will be the way he was going past and trying to do things. He even made a defensive tackle. He mistimed it, but I was happy that when he saw the danger, he ran back and tried to stop him, which was good when we were going all out on attack. And while it is upsetting to draw, Joao Pedro didn't have a good game. Enzo Fernandez was not himself today. Caicedo was okay. He was neither great, he was neither bad, he was okay. And I think that was part of the reason. It was not necessarily just a low block, it was just not necessarily Colwell missing. We kept a clean sheet. We limited Crystal Palace chances. They had one goal, which they took from free kick, which Guhi, because he basically interfered with the wall. Basically, that basically was you know taken off. The goal was taken off. Thankfully, you know. Uh, and they're irritating side, but it is what it is. If Chalaba doesn't sky off his chance, if Santos at the end of the game when he comes on, he was good. He was good, for the bit he came on, but he skied his chance. He saw his name being streamed by the Stamford Bridge crowd, and he just skied his chance. Estevao also had an opportunity. He could have maybe passed it to Pedro, who was better positioned and probably would have at least made the goalkeeper work, if nothing else. Uh, he also, got a bit excited, goal in his debut in Stamford Bridge, and he also basically scuffed the chance. And that was a bit of a story today, that we have all these some new players coming in, Crystal Palace being Crystal Palace, doing the low block, and that is, I think, that is part of the reason why Garnacho is needed. Now we can see, there were mixed reactions, but we can see Gittins is a bit raw. He needs a bit of help, and Garnacho can maybe help in that way. More importantly, in because Gittins today, could not put in those afterburners, because you know Crystal Palace just are very disciplined. They have a good team. They have good players in that team. It's shown that that they are FA Cup winners, the Community Shield winners. They're in Europe. You have to give them plaudits where it's due. But and that's kind of the reason why we need Xavi Simons. He occupies that left half space. I think that would have just not helped Palmer. Who was really quiet today. It would have helped Enzo Fernandez, who had a kind of a poor game. That is why when in my pre-match thoughts I had gone with Santos, because I was like, Enzo is not ready yet to start, maybe, and maybe Santos looks a bit fitter. And maybe that could have worked, because if Santos had maybe few more minutes in the game, he was maybe more settled and would have taken that shot. Inversely, maybe we would have wanted Enzo Fernandez in that moment, and maybe to take a shot. But Andre Santos has taken those opportunities at Strasbourg. He just got a little bit excited. I'm not gonna hold it against him. He's a new player. The occasion maybe got to him a bit. It got to Estevao a bit too. He could have made maybe better decision passing to Nato, maybe, or someone else. Uh, Delap, when he came on, looked good. João Pedro had a quiet game by his high standards which he has set at Chelsea. So there are good things like Josh, Acheampong, and Estevao, looking good. And then you have some, you can see why we need, these two attacking players, why we are focusing on that. And you can also see why Maresca is pointing out on the importance of cover. It's not, that we do not have cover with center backs. It is a special type of center backs who can make those midfield cutting passes, right? That is what Maresca is highlighting on. And Maybe Josh Acheampong can fulfill that role. It's just too early to say right now. But I think that is why Maresca wants it, and maybe we will get it. Maybe we'll get it. Hopefully, we get someone in. But it's first day of for opening day. It's Crystal Palace who are in good form, who have gone away to Arsenal, who have gone away to Man City, who have beaten Man City, who have beaten Liverpool, who are FA Cup winners, Community Shield winners. They have two trophies in the bag. They have some really good players who some top teams want, right? Be it Guhi, be it Wharton, be it Eze. So they're in a good form at the moment, right? And you have to basically put some context into it. So it's an off day. It happens. It's a long season. So don't get too worried about it. On to the next game, and hopefully we just correct those mistakes, get the people in, make the necessary improvements, work on the things we need to work on, and then get 3 points in the next game, right, guys? So you know, don't let it, don't let this match ruin your day. Uh, have some uh, time with your friends, your family, and have a good time, basically. So that's it from my side. If you do like the content, please like, subscribe, share, hit the bell notification icon so you may support this channel. Give it a shot. It's a brand new channel, only a few days old. So hopefully I will see you in the next video. And yeah, keep the blue flag flying high. Okay, guys, bye.